Okay, so we are out here right by my fire pit deck, and this bed right here is kind of on towards the back side, and it is an asparagus bed, but I don't have very much asparagus in it. A friend of mine gave me several asparagus crowns 2 years ago, and I put them in here, and I did not, it was at 2020, I believe, into 2020. I put them in here. Last spring, we had about 11 spears pop up, and I let them go and let them seed out and do their thing. And this year, I just bought some more at Tractor Supply of crowns versus seeds. So I wanted to get out here and put them in and then put some strawberries in. But you know what's funny is I already have asparagus coming up right here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 asparagus shoots just right here. So that's amazing, because last year I only had this cluster and that cluster and nothing come up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you along with me as I trim this off, clean this out a little bit. I'm going to put some compost in here and put some new asparagus in, and we may put some strawberries in today depending on how much room we have. Unfortunately, I have a lot of grass in here, but I'm just going to have to deal with that for now. So let's get to work. That's I don't know what that is. I don't think that's asparagus though. That's a tree. Found some more asparagus over here though. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, maybe that one I pulled up wasn't asparagus. Whoops. It doesn't look like asparagus to me though. And it's hard because my chickens get in here and dust bathe, but they usually don't mess with the asparagus, which is the only reason why I have not kept them out to this point. But going forward, because I have to block them from the other 2 beds over here, I am actually going to block them out of here, especially if I put strawberries in here, because they will eat those. Make sure I didn't get a asparagus in that batch. I did not. Oh, so much wiregrass. I hate it. You can only keep it out of a bed for so long. And then it just finds its way in. Hello, Mr. Asparagus. I'm trying to get all the grass out from around you. A little backstory about this bed. The first year we put it in, I grew glorious tomato plants. And then, towards the end of the season, my tomato plants over in the corner just started to die. And they just turned black, and it was crazy. And so when I went to pull them up, I pulled up the tomato plant, and there was a yellow jacket's nest underneath it. And they all started swarming out. And I am highly allergic. It was not good. So I am always a little intimidated when I work on this bed because of that. And it's funny because I didn't put tomatoes back in that bed that year or the next year. I moved them down and got a yellow jacket's nest in the next bed under a tomato plant. And so then I was timid about putting tomato plants out here at all. But we didn't have any problems with it after that. But I would have to get my dad to come down in his bee suit and eradicate the yellow jackets, which now we have bees, so we have our own bee suit, but I don't go in the bees because with my allergies and my experiences with bees, I can't keep the fear down, and they can smell it on me. I try to be super calm, and the bees are like, nope, we know. And two, have you ever wondered why bee suits are white? Well, if you were to go out there in a black one, the bees would assume you're a nice big black bear after their hive, and they would attack you. Well, my clothes predominantly are black and some gray, which is what I'm wearing today, but predominantly black. And so if I'm out there working in the garden and the corner of our garden does go kind of near the bees, I have to be careful and keep an eye on, you know, kind of where they're flying and what they're doing. Because if I get too close to that corner of the garden, they're like, ooh, a giant fat black bear. Let me go attack her. And as calm as I try to say, it's inevitable. One always gets in my hair and gets caught. And then I hear it up by my ear and my face, and I flip out, and then I get stung. That is my life with bees. So, I do not go near the bees. My husband does that, and my dad. And actually, my dad is coming tomorrow, and I will try to do some recording. He's going to check my hives, because I think we lost 2 with this crazy winter and stuff. And my husband's been working on the greenhouse, and he has actually had to go back into the office this week. And we think that may be a permanent thing, where he starts to work in the office again instead of working from home. Oh, I'm squishing my asparagus. So if that's the case, that's gonna cut into our time even more because he works over 30 minutes from home. So in rush hour traffic, he often does not get home for over an hour. So in the evenings, that will greatly reduce what he is able to accomplish. Hi, little asparagus, have some compost. Also, if I can find the link, I'll post it. But there is a bacteria that can get into bagged soil. And so you're never supposed to technically work with bagged soil without a mask and gloves on. Did y'all know that? So, obviously, I don't adhere to that. So, just make sure you wash your hands and don't eat the dirt, okay? And do it in a very ventilated area. All right, so I have, it looks like my asparagus is in two main patches, right there and right here. So what I'm going to do is put these kind of in the center all around them. And this says 4 plants. And I will be honest, I have not had good luck with Tractor Supply plants. So first of all, they lied. There's only 3. This is about par for Tractor Supply suppliers, whoever that is. Who is this? DeGroot. They are the ones that I tried strawberries from last year from Tractor Supply. Not one took. Most of them were dead right out of the package. So we're already starting off bad with only 3 plants. Oh, there's the hawk, which I have not seen in a while, but there he is. Now this bundle is heftier, and look, there's already a little asparagus coming out here. Now you can seed asparagus, but it's going to be super small for the, and that's why they say don't do it for 3 years, because you need it to propagate and spread out. That one's a nice one. All right, so we did get 4, and these are much better, bigger. Oh, look, we got 2 coming out right there. So those are a lot nicer than the other. But these first 3 right here, they look dead as a doornail. Like there is no life, they're brittle. So I'm going to tell you right now that these beds are a little bit deep for the way we have them. They're 4 feet deep, which is pretty standard size as long as you can access both sides. But we have a deck on that side, and when we first built them, we didn't have railings around the deck, and so I could get to them from that side. But now we have railings, so reaching all the way across is actually kind of difficult. So that's one of the reasons I'm putting asparagus in this bed, because it's not going to be like a constant harvest of a lot of things that I'm reaching over for. So I'm hoping I can just, you know, like reach over and clip now and then, or do like one major harvest. And then I'm going to put strawberries around the outside and the front where I can actually get to them. Because this hurts my back actually, because I'm like stretched all the way across, and I'm very tall. I am 6 feet tall. So if somebody's like 5'5", oh, there's a nail. If somebody's like 5'5" trying to do this, they're gonna be climbing up in this bed, and you don't want to walk in the bed. So this is stretching me as tall as I am. So keep that in mind if you're building raised beds. If you cannot access but one side, you're better off doing a max of 2.5 to 3 feet. But 2.5 feet is right here, and that's where you want to be able to reach to. So, all right, let's go get strawberries. Okay, so these are your typical major retailer Bonnie Bell plants here. And that's fine. These are a Ozark Beauty, which is a pretty standard variety around here and commercially available. So they are everbearing, which is what I want, so that we can snack on them fresh through the summer. So this is all my local store had, and I did get them from an actual family-owned seed store that carries this variety or brand. There we go. So I wanted to do strawberries with asparagus because they're both perennials, and you can just kind of leave them and let them be. Eventually, I will probably have to relocate the strawberries because they will run and expand. And once the asparagus gets super established in a couple years, it will probably fill up this whole bed, and the strawberries will kind of get overran. And they may live harmoniously. I mean, they say to plant these two things together, but I don't know if that's going to work once they start, you know, getting really big and crowded. So we're going to do it for now though, because we don't have a ton of asparagus that's harvestable. And we do have plans to move in probably 5 years or so, because it's getting so grown up around us. So by the time these are ready to be moved, we might take them with us, or we may let the next people let it be their problem. It's not something I like to think about or talk about, because this is my home and I love this place, but we have no options for expanding, and housing developments are actually closing in around us. It's getting congested. We used to live in the country, and now there's people everywhere, and it's only going to get worse, as just across from us they are adding houses and townhouses over the next few years to the tune of over 3,000 new people just on our road. So my little section right here in the back, the few houses that are left over here with larger plots, we are getting overrun, and we have daily calls to buy our property. And the past 2 years we have lived in a constant construction noise from, you know, 5:30, 6 a.m. to often 9 to 10 at night, as different crews come in doing different things. Loud music from the workers, tractors and trailers unloading equipment right in front of our house. And it's just not what we had ever wanted or intended when we moved in here 16 years ago. And at that time, it was not on the plans to build that way, but to expand the road. So we knew some building would probably come. But now they're building, and they have tanked the road construction plans because of budgeting issues. So now we're going to have all these new people and houses on the same roads, and they can't handle it. Our schools can't handle it. Our schools are maxed out. Our roads are maxed out, and they just keep building more. And I went to the planning board and I told them this. I said, where do you expect all these kids to go to school and all these cars to go when you're adding 3,000 people to my little, basically one-lane road with no plans to fix the roads in the near future, because you tabled that project, and then around the corner you've got 800 new houses going in. So, you know, dual income families, you're looking at another 1,600 cars on the road, and, you know, probably 2,000 people. And their answer to me was, well, maybe when the people are there, the demands will come and the money will come for the road. And I get that. However, you're causing a lot of heartache for those people in the meantime, not to mention all the people who've been here in the country forever with lives and everything that our country. And this is not what we wanted. So, oh look, there's some asparagus I forgot to plant. Silly me. I got to planting strawberries and missed these little asparagus plants on this end. So that is where we're at with our property in Homestead. And it makes me super sad because this area has been family for hundreds of years. And my dad actually built this house. And my cousin lives next door. He's not happy about any of this either. So, did not mean to tell that story today while I'm huffing and puffing in your ear, planting plants. But this bed is done, so let me show you. Okay. So here it is. I still have to clean up. Can you see all the asparagus coming up? So I planted asparagus all along the back and in the middle. And then I put the strawberries around the front. And I know they will run and expand. And there is dirt way up under here. I mean, this is like, it goes to about here. So they can kind of run and come up over this and run the other way. So I think planting them that close will be okay. If not, I'll move them next year. But that is our asparagus and strawberry bed. And I am out of breath from leaning over and stretching. So I guess I need to clean up my mess now. All right. All right, everybody. So this has been an absolutely gorgeous day. We are in the 70s, I believe, and it's the beginning of March. I am seeing daffodils blooming. I have the red buds blooming on the trees. It is warm, it is sunny, and I am out here soaking up some vitamin D and getting some planting started, and I absolutely love it. So thank you. I know this has not been the best film thing just because I wanted to get it done quickly, so I just kind of threw the tripod up where I could get a decent view. And thank you for coming along with me, and we will see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys.